The Fortune Cookie Kid. Chapter 7. The Trigger. I had trouble sleeping, so I went to Thomas's house and started my run before everyone else got there. When I finished, I asked, "Did you use your cookie last night?"
Yeah, I wanted to tell my dad not to take the job the coach offered him, but I changed my mind.
What did it say?
A good memory is fine, but the ability to forget is the one true test of greatness.
So you forgot about it?
Yeah.
He looked unhappy with that decision. So when are you going to test your theory?
As soon as you give me a cookie.
I waited impatiently for him to read his fortune and eat his cookie. So what did the cookie say? Thomas turned on an extremely bright light.
Adapt to circumstances in order to make progress.
Okay, what does that mean?
We start now.
Thomas pulled a jewel from his pocket. That looks similar to the one Ms. Peach wears every day. It hangs on a long chain around her neck. He held it up to the light, and that was the last thing I remember. When I came to my senses, we were standing in line for the bus, and Thomas was pulling his earbud from my ear. I stretched and yawned. Being hypnotized has one advantage.
What's that?
I always feel well rested afterwards. We stepped onto the bus. So how did I do in your martial arts class?
You did excellent, following my every instruction and didn't stop until I told you to. You might be sore tomorrow and have some bruises.
Bruises? I questioned and rubbed a sore spot on my head. Mouse smiled at us as we walked past her seat and pulled her hair out of her face with one finger. Her green eyes sparkled in the sun and I wanted to kiss her. The urge was so strong that I bent down, puckered my lips, and was stopped by her placing both hands on my chest. Her cheeks were bright pink. "Don't you want me to kiss you?" I was hurt at her rejection.
No, just not here with everyone staring at us.
I looked around the bus. It was true, everyone was staring at us as if we were stars in a soap opera. My eyes stopped at Thomas, who was smiling brightly. "You!" I pointed a finger at him. "You told me to do this, didn't you?" Thomas snickered as I sat beside him. "Was that part of your making progress plan?"
At least it would have broken the ice between the two of you.
"Yeah, well, you should have asked Mouse first." I sulked with my arms folded.
"So you hypnotized Reggie?"
She looked at the two of us over the top of her seat.
Yeah.
"Do you have any idea who did it?"
She looked hopeful. I had forgotten all about the plan for Thomas to ask me while hypnotized who was in the room.
No, it seems there was some kind of argument between Ms. Peach and Mrs. Houseman right before class that ended with Mr. Redding, the principal, and two other people Reggie didn't know coming in to settle things down. He didn't know them, or he couldn't see their faces. Anyway, I am sure that was why Mr. Redding brought Sabrina personally to class the first day.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure his girlfriend, Ms. Peach, was okay, I added, remembering seeing Mr. Redding making out with my math teacher. It sent shivers up my spine and made me a little nauseated.
I think you were all under hypnosis before that, but I'm not sure.
Did you ask me who was in the room before that? If the teachers were fighting, how come everyone in school hasn't been talking about it?
That is a good point, Reggie.
I love the way she says my name.
This is the first I have heard of it. So our suspects are Ms. Peach, Mrs. Houseman, Mr. Redding, the principal, and two other people we don't know.
Thomas was quiet for a few minutes, staring out the window, then he said,
"Reggie, I need a cookie."
He was still staring out the window when I placed one into his outstretched hand. This time he broke the cookie into two pieces, like a wishbone, and removed the fortune from it. He read it several times before stuffing it into the front pocket of his jeans. He did not eat the cookie, just held it in his hand. Then he pulled out his phone and ordered some chicken noodle soup from Skipper's Diner just a block away from our school. I suppose you won't be in first period.
I'm going to be late.
I guess I will have to wait to hear what our next move will be.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Thomas stood to get off the bus, which had come to a stop. His face was expressionless, and it gave me a foreboding feeling, as if something bad was going to happen. Mouse followed me and Thomas off the bus. Holding hands, we watched my cookie-eating friend walk down the street.
What did the cookie say?
He won't tell me until he eats it, and it is still in his hand. I sighed and walked glumly into school. Thomas didn't show up until second period. I saw him just outside of our first-hour class talking to Chelsea by the girls' bathroom. He was holding his hand to her ear. Her face looked expressionless. Then, as if someone had turned on the light in her head, she sprang to life.
He hypnotized her,
I whispered as Mouse stood by my side.
What did you say?
I think Thomas hypnotized Chelsea. I rubbed my left shoulder, trying to relieve some soreness.
What, here at school?
Mouse looked shocked. I'll walk you to class, I offered, and took hold of Sabrina's hand.
Why would he do that?
The same reason he hypnotized me.
To find out who is behind all of this?
It must be. She will kill him for this. At least things can get back to normal.
Normal.
Yeah, just a small group of friends at our lunch table. You, me, and Thomas. I smiled down at her. She grinned back at me and kissed me on the cheek. I think I'm beginning to love this girl.
That would be nice and quiet.
I doubt we will be that lucky. I let go of her hand to rub my shoulder again.
Did you get hurt?
She looked concerned. I was tempted to lie, but I frowned and told her the truth. Thomas, I didn't have to say anything else. She nodded her head as if she figured it out. I dropped her off at Mr. Mackey's room and headed to history class. Thomas was already there. As soon as I sat down, he tossed a paper fortune on my desk.
What does your face look like when you're hypnotized?
I don't know. He smiled and showed me a picture he had taken of me after he hypnotized me. Delete it, I demanded.
No, it's evidence.
He pulled his phone away from me as I tried to grab it. How was your soup? I asked, reading the back side of the fortune lying on my desk, and plotted a way to delete that hideous picture.
Delicious.
I turned over the paper and read the fortune aloud. Pay attention to your nonverbal cues and try to turn it down. I don't get it. I gave him back the fortune. He showed me the picture again. The girl sitting in front of me started giggling. Apparently she saw the picture.
I have no nonverbal cues on my face in that picture, so how can I turn them down?
I kicked his chair. Thomas lifted his eyebrows and looked at me wide-eyed. So you are saying that a person who is hypnotized has turned down their nonverbal cues? Like a zombie, I breathed. He patted me on the back.
I knew you would get it.
Thomas can really twist things. I was getting irritated with Kaylee and her friend who were now talking about my stupid picture. What does this have to do with Chelsea? I saw what you did to her.
I asked permission first. Do you want to find out what happened in her class?
I was all ears, but the teacher cleared his throat and demanded our attention.
Today and tomorrow we will be doing a review for the test.
Mr. Jones said. What Thomas found out would have to wait until after class or later. This test was a quarter of my grade, and I couldn't afford not to pay attention. Now if I could just stay awake the entire class period, I might actually learn something. Thomas nudged me awake when class was over. What did I miss? I asked, scratching my head.
Not much.
His phone buzzed. He glanced at it and then typed a quick message.
Give me a couple of cookies, please. I have some errands to run for my mom.
How are you going to run errands when you can't even drive yet? He pointed at the window. Does that mean I won't get hypnotized?
You shouldn't. But if you do, Mouse will let me know.
When are you going to tell me what you learned from Chelsea?
Come to my house tonight, and I will tell you everything.
I went grudgingly to math without Thomas. Mouse met me at the door.
Well, what did you find out?
Nothing. We went to our assigned seats, and I didn't remember anything after that until the bell rang.
Were we all zombies again in math class?
I whispered to Mouse as we walked down the hall. She nodded her head. But I thought sunlight shining through Ms. Peach's crystal did it?
Well, Thomas did hypnotize you that way.
Mouse looked at me thoughtfully. I like the way her forehead wrinkles when she is thinking. What are your thoughts? I asked, eager to get some insight as to what was going on, because I had nothing.
Maybe there is more than one trigger.
Now I know why Thomas likes Sabrina. She is as smart as he is, and she doesn't need a cookie. What does she see in me? This is the end of the chapter. Please like and subscribe.